Hello everyone and welcome back to Madridista Notes. Today I'm here to review the match that was played last night, Real Madrid versus Real Valladolid. We won 2-0, of course, thanks to the goals coming from Karim Benzema. The games came late in the game. Both the goals came late in the game, very late. It was looking like one of those nil-nil draws or something because there wasn't any imminent threat coming out of our attack, or the midfield weren't creating really enough chances during the later stages of the game. During the first half, in the beginning, first 20 minutes, we created some opportunities, but slowly but surely, we started to lose some of the physicality, some of the attacking impetus. We gave more and more ground to Valladolid to capitalize, and Valladolid really did well to um, create some opportunities. It was because of the heroics of Thibaut Courtois that Real Valladolid didn't take the lead and put us on the back foot, and that could have easily lost this game because we didn't really impose ourselves onto the game well enough. Our forward line was misfiring. There was a big chance missed by Benzema, another big chance that Vinicius created himself, and then he tried to drink it over the goalkeeper and it went over the bar. In the first half, we weren't given a penalty. That was Ancelotti was furious about that, but we cannot really blame the referee for our horrible performance last night. Uh, I was expecting a really slow start to the second half of the season, but it looked really not out of the character. It looked really how we finished the season. Like we were struggling to close the games, we were struggling to score, we were dropping points everywhere. And so the way we finished the first half of the season just before the World Cup, that's how we started the second half of the season, to be honest. And now we have a Copa del Rey match coming on. So Ancelotti will definitely be playing the reserves players there, like Lunin, Nacho, Vallejo, Lucas Vasquez, maybe Mendy may be rested. I don't know. In midfield, definitely Ceballos, Camavinga, and maybe Cruz will play because Cruz got a nice bit of rest and he should be physically all right because he didn't go to the World Cup, of course, because he retired from the German national team. And in attack, I think it will be Mariano is not fit, so I don't know about him. It will be Asensio, Rodrigo, and maybe Hazard. That's it. So um, from what I saw in the game here, I think Courtois deserves a 9, not an 8. I would give Thibaut Courtois a 9. He had two world class saves. Those saves totally saved us from going behind and chasing the game, which I'm not sure we could have had some much luck in chasing the game because as soon as Valladolid got that goal, they would have totally parked the bus. They would have gone to 4-4-2 formation. They would have totally um, employed a deep block to defensive all-out defense, trying to defend the goal and parking their whole team just in front of that halfway line, and eight players would have been just around the box. So we were having trouble, totally having trouble slicing through this defense of Real Valladolid when they were open, somewhat open. They were not playing full defensive football. They were playing some nice bit of attacking with a nice bit of attacking impetus because they came out into the pitch with a 4-3-3 formation that which I wasn't expecting. I was expecting a 4-4-2. I was thinking that they will employ a deep block. They will do some solid defensive structure so Real Madrid cannot get through. But they came out with some fire. They came out with no fear. They were brave and they created the chances. It was the heroic saves from Courtois that really didn't let them go ahead in the game. And Carvajal, I think it's somewhat justified, but I would give him a 6.5, maximum 6.5. He had some erratic defensive football, and his crosses were getting blocked every time he was crossing. It was getting blocked. He didn't really enjoy much freedom or much happiness in the final third. He didn't really wasn't really able to combine with Asensio or Benzema or even Valverde. So it was a really average, below average kind of game coming from Carvajal. Rudiger was good. He was defensively solid and he did his job well. He had a couple of chances in the from the set pieces. I think he should have at least hit he headed it on target. He had two clear-cut headers. I think he should have headed one of them at least on target. So I would have given him a bit more. But I think considering that it's a clean sheet and um, the defense was a little bit shaky. It wasn't really solid, but he did his job well. He cleaned up at the back well. So I would say Rudiger gets a 7 from me, and Alaba, like Carvajal, didn't really enjoy a really nice match. It was a below average match from the quality of what we expect from Alaba. It wasn't really up to the standards. So I think I'm giving him a 6.5. There was some troubles. He had some troubles with the Sergio Leon and Sanchez. They couple of times they got the better of him, and he had to resort to some rash tackles, and they got in behind, so he wasn't really enjoying a fun time on the pitch at the back. So I will give David Alaba a 6.5, and Mendy gets a 7 from me, just like Rudiger. He did his job well. He protected that left hand side really well. The attacker Sergio Sanchez didn't really get any kind of freedom to on that right hand side of the lead attack, and he totally boxed that place. He totally boxes that left hand side of Real Madrid's defense, and that's why Vinicius can really go ahead and do what he does best. He, of course, comes back to help Mendy here and there, but when Mendy is at the back and doing his job, you can be sure that the opposing attackers won't be enjoying much space, or they won't be having much fun when they are coming one on one against him. He's so strong and defensively sound. Sometimes maybe positioning can be a little bit iffy, but he's really great when it comes to the defensive side of the game. So Mendy gets 7 from me. Cruz gets, I think I would give Cruz a 9. I For me he is the man of the match. He is so silky. He is so reassuring. He is just, I don't know. I don't know how we are going to replace Toni Kroos in this Real Madrid team because he is a unique player. If you look at the market, if you look at the football world right now, he is a unique player. There isn't an option available in the market or in the world football right now that Real Madrid can buy for 100, 150 million. whatever the price to you know not replace to not be feeling the kind of hole that will be in that midfield when Cruz retires. So hopefully, Tony Cruz at least decides to extend his contract by one more year. So whoever we will be bringing on, if it's Jude Bellingham, if it's someone else, gets 1 year to settle down and learn things from Tony Cruz, the master that is Tony Cruz, the passing, the range of passing, the way, the calmness, the way he circulates the ball. Everything is just perfect from Tony Cruz, and his defensive side of the game has evolved with time, and so he is close to a complete midfielder. What you can get as a midfielder. Ceballos gets, I think, 7 from me. He did his. It's an average game. He didn't really do anything out of the ordinary. He was tidy. He tried to find Vinicius. He didn't really enjoy and didn't really enjoy much freedom. Wasn't really able to impose himself into the game and create enough opportunities for the forwards. He helped out as a midfielder should help out, and as we didn't have a natural defensive midfielder, he had more defensive responsibilities. So, an average game from Ceballos, I would give him a 7. From Valverde, I would give him a 7 too. Nothing really extraordinary from Valverde. A couple of really bull runs where he totally forward runs where he in the later stages of the game there was a couple of chances where he could have gone through with his pile driver shots that we have come to love, the unbeatable shots, the bullet shots, but he didn't really pull the trigger and to instead look for whoever it was, Vasquez or oh no, Carvajal, and Carvajal didn't really excel in providing the support for Valverde on the right hand side or even Asensio. So Valverde, those forward runs didn't really amount to much today. He was good in the defensive side of the game as the added responsibility when playing without a defensive midfielder. They had to be more responsible when in defense and in attack. Valverde didn't really contribute much, to be fair. The midfield was stale. Outside of Cruz, Sebas, and Valverde did the minimum in attack, really, in supporting the forwards. The forwards didn't really enjoy much service from Valverde or Sebas, so that's why he gets average 7 from me um, because of the defensive um, contribution and keeping it tidy in midfield, just tidy. There wasn't much control, but they didn't really make any glaring mistakes. So a 7 from me. Asensio gets a 6.5 from me. Nothing special. Didn't really create much. He had one shot that sailed over the bar. I don't even remember much from Marco Asensio from this match, really. Didn't even combine that well with Benzema and Vinicius, so a below average match from Asensio. Vinicius, I would have given him more, but I think the rating of his is somewhat fair. I would say he gets a 7. He created his own big chance and then he messed it up. He enjoyed some space on that left hand side. The lead defense didn't really put two defenders on him, so he had some space, and he could have enjoyed some more freedom when going against one on one against Fresneda, but he couldn't really take advantage of that. Didn't really burn the defenders like he used to normally burn. He did it one or two times, but nothing much came out of it. To be honest, he needs to really work on his crossing. Vinicius needs to really work on his crossing. His crossing is most of the time a little bit too. I don't know. He cannot do the floating crosses. If you are servicing, he should. He only is, I think, good at those not the floating balls, the direct balls, the powerful crosses, and I think he needs to maybe use more of the his outside of the boot crosses, learning from Modric because his floating balls are really not there. So he needs to work on that. So Vinicius gets a 7 from me. Benzema, I think that rating there is a too high. I would give him a 8. Until the 80th minute, he was really, really wasteful. He was everything he was doing. It was nothing was coming off. He had a really, really tough time on the pitch. He wasn't looking sharp. In front of the goal. He missed a really big chance, a really great chance. He shouldn't have missed that chance. We should have been 1-0 up. And but when called upon to take the penalty, I was a bit nervous about the penalty, but he slotted it perfectly. And then the chance created totally by Eduardo Camavinga. He kept his composure and slotted it into the back of the net. So for those two goals, I would have given him. Without those goals, he would have gotten a 5 or something from me. Those two goals bumps his rating to an 8, and I wouldn't say he's the man of the match. I would say my man of the match is Tony Cruz, to be fair. And at the 60th minute, Asensio was replaced by Rodrigo, and Carvajal was replaced by Vasquez. Vasquez did his job, whatever he was supposed to do. So I would give him for those 30 minutes 6.5. Nothing extraordinary. Average, just average from Vasquez and Rodrigo. When he came on, he looked sharp. He looked lively. He was combining well, but Benzema wasn't able to reciprocate, and so if you were trying to combine with someone, you give and go. He was getting away from the midfielders, from the defenders, and passing it to Benzema. Benzema then messing it up, couldn't return it back. So he wasn't able to impose himself because of that. He needed the support from Benzema. Benzema wasn't able to support him. So I would give him an average of 6.5 to Rodrigo. He did whatever he could. To be honest, if the others in the attack are not really firing, then it becomes a really hard work. He was trying his best. For that, I give him a 6.5. Kamavinga came on for Danny Sabas around the 69th minute mark, and he had a really lively, really sharp match. He drove through that midfield and had forward runs, and he assisted Benzema for the second goal. It was a really really great run from him, and then he had another run where he tried to go it all by himself. The effort I applauded, but maybe he should have looked for a better option. But it was during the later stages, end stages of the game, so I cannot really fault the kid for pulling the trigger and maybe looking to get on the score sheet. So I think I'm gonna give Kamavinga a solid 7. He had a really really good impact as a substitute. So as a substitute, he has been always been really impactful. So I think it was really game changing, I would say. Substitute the Camavinga one. Rodrigo brought in some energy, some combination too. He was sharp, so Camavinga and Rodrigo, these two substitutions helped a lot because after these substitutions, Real Madrid enjoyed more attacking, more freedom, and more were able to impose themselves more on the final third of the pitch. But it wasn't until that penalty, to be honest, where the game totally opened up, and because of the dumb decision of Leon from Valladolid, because he said something to the referee, got the red card. That's where Valladolid totally collapsed, really. Until then, Valladolid were the team in the second half who looked more like the team who will be the one to get on the score sheet first. But yeah, good for us. To be honest, whoever else, oh yeah, Modric and Chouameni came on really late into the game, 87 minutes for Valverde and Vinicius. I think Ancelotti just wanted to give them some minutes as some training. Those are some, yeah, really just to get them the training. They must have been instructed not to go in real hard, just to get some minutes to get them into the rhythm, because they only came into the training a couple of days ago, so they don't have the match fitness yet. I think they will be ready by next week, and next week Real Madrid is playing. Let's see who Real Madrid is playing next week. We are playing Sassereno in Copa del Rey. I doubt Modric and Chouameni will start. They are not going to start, but against Villarreal, I think Chouameni is definitely starting. It's an away match. We always struggle against Villarreal, Estadio de la Ceramica. Away match, Real Madrid struggling against Villarreal is the norm. Head to head, 10 draws, 10 wins, 2 wins against Villarreal. So the head to head mostly, as you can see, the last away match we played against them February 12th, it was a draw. Uh, then the other away match, same November 21, 2022, another draw, another draw, and another draw. 4 draws, 5 draws. So yeah, the last 5 away matches Real Madrid played at Villarreal Stadium were draws. So if you are someone who is going to predict, I think a draw is the most conclusive prediction. It's on 7th of January, so just a week later. And that's it for today. Hopefully, you have enjoyed the show. Thank you for watching. Um, Hopefully, you have a great day, and the New Year's are upon us. So, whoever is celebrating, Happy New Year to you. If you have enjoyed the show, kindly like, subscribe, and comment. That's it from me today. Hala Madrid. See you next time.